Hello, Timmy.
Hello, Jimmy.
So, does puberty mess with your mind?
Searching for answers. Please wait.
Hey guys, so we've already done a video about the effects of puberty on the body, but today I want to find out about the effects of puberty on the brain. Timmy, my voice-controlled virtual assistant, has done an internet search, and you guys are asking about mood swings, why we feel more emotional and angry during puberty. So I need some answers. First stop, Boyinaband.
Locating Boyinaband. Please wait.
Oh wait, what's this new feature? Teleportation? Yes, please.
Oh wow, did you just teleport?
I teleported here, Dave.
Incredibly impressive.
How are you, Dave? You all right?
I'm wonderful. Should we talk about puberty?
Let's talk about puberty.
Yay.
I'm here, I've teleported in. Let's do it. So I can remember as a teenager going through puberty. It was a pretty tricky time. Can you remember feeling more emotional around that time?
I went through different stages of feeling completely emotionless and just completely disconnected from existence and not really feeling anything, and then feeling incredibly frustrated that I couldn't feel these emotions, which ironically would bring on an emotion of its own, like this kind of frustration. And so that was quite kind of difficult.
Do you remember feeling more sad around puberty?
I suppose there were points at which I felt more sad, but it was mainly to do with not really being attractive, and that was kind of a frustration there that other people were able to get girlfriends and I was not, because I was quite a late developer.
Right. Was that stressful, Dave? Was that something that wound you up?
It was quite frustrating. I remember being bullied a reasonable amount because I was quite short, and like I remember feeling uncomfortable that I couldn't have the hair that I wanted as well.
So did you just feel generally quite uncomfortable during those years?
Mm-hmm. I felt like I don't feel like I was comfortable in my body at that point.
Well, thanks for sharing your experience, Dave.
Yeah, it was great. I feel like we've really bonded.
Yeah, we have a lot. I feel like I need to speak to an expert though now to find out some more about what's actually going on up here, the changes that the brain goes through. So I'm going to do that now.
Science!
Oh, I'm back at the wall. Timmy, locate Dr. Lee Hudson.
Locating Dr. Lee Hudson. Please wait.
Dr. Lee? Dr. Lee? This isn't right. This isn't my shirt. Oh, I'll just walk. Fine. Hey, Lee. Hello.
Hi.
So I've got here a list of some of the most commonly asked questions about puberty and the brain. And I've also got not an actual brain, but a model brain that comes apart. So the first question I've got is, what happens to the brain during puberty?
Okay, so in puberty, there's two things that happen. There's brain development, which happens in adolescence, and then there's puberty itself. Because actually puberty, what that really means is actual sexual development. If we talk about the puberty bit, so you can see this is called the pituitary, this little gland here. So this, although it's really small, it's really important.
And is that what makes us feel more emotional when we're going through puberty? Is that to do with this here, or is that something else?
Yeah, that's part of it. But also this other second bit that happens during adolescence is slightly different to puberty, which is brain development. And so early on, when puberty tends to start, this middle bit of the brain, the limbic system, this is sort of the party centre of the brain really, and this is the bit that makes young people more interested in other things, so exploratory behaviours that we call them.
Okay.
This bit gets bigger. Later on in puberty and later on in adolescence, this front bit of the brain called the prefrontal cortex, this bit starts to switch on and get more developed, and that's actually the break. So that starts to make people think a bit more in a way that we expect adults to think, which is to be able to plan.
So you get the fun bit first, then the sensible bit afterwards,
you do.
Basically.
And we keep it all through our lives, but it's the changes that are happening, the rapid changes that are happening around that time that make the time a bit emotional, really.
Yeah. That's so interesting, because you sort of just think it's growing up, but it's an actual physical change that's going on in your head. So obviously during this brain development, there's a lot of changes going on. Is there anything that you should be aware of? Is there any way it could get damaged?
Well, we know that the brain's going through lots of changes through that time. If you imagine your brain's basically growing into what it's going to be for the rest of your life, there is a danger that alcohol and drugs can affect that adversely or in a bad way, so that it might affect how things are in the future.
Right, so there could be some permanent damage there maybe?
Yeah, potentially.
So how does puberty and these changes in the brain actually affect the way that we think and we act
The first thing that happens in early puberty or during early adolescence is that young people typically get to be a bit more independent about the way they think about things.
Yeah.
So that's normal, but that independence usually means thinking a bit more about what your friends might think about things.
So there's a natural change that is causing us to worry more about what people around us think of us, essentially.
Absolutely.
So I think for a lot of people that can lead to a bit of anxiety, it can be quite a stressful time.
Yeah, it can be, and it's important to remember that's the same for everybody.
Yeah. Who would be a good person to talk to about all this stuff?
I suppose the first thing to say, it's really important to talk about it. Some young people find it easier to talk to their friends, some people speak to their family, some people will speak to both. But it's really about making sure people understand and not keeping it all inside and then things getting worse over time.
I'm going to reassemble the brain, put that down. Don't let go of it, I like that. Thank you very much, Lee. That was amazing, that was really helpful.
It's a pleasure, thank you.
Oh, that was really useful. So, with puberty, you might act and think in a different way to normal. Remember that, and as long as you're prepared, you'll be able to deal with it in the right way. So, I really want to know what advice you would give to a mate who's feeling a bit rubbish because of puberty. Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear all your thoughts. Guess what? It's nearly Christmas, yay! Next week, I'm going to be joined in the studio by some special guests, and they're going to be telling me all about how they avoid the pressures of the party season. I'll see you then. Bye!